It's the perfect day to do a tire review on my new studded Nitto Exo Grapplers 265/70/17s on my Dodge Diesel. And it is dumping snow. Highways are probably a mess. So let's warm up the Dodge and go do a tire review today. Oh yes, we have to wait to start. We've been waiting for weather for this. Give you a little gander at the tread pattern. Now, I'm no tire expert, so I'm not gonna waste your time telling you anything about the tire tread pattern. I'm sure there's Nitto videos out there you can watch to learn about that. It's a perfect day for filming this. I tried to film this about a week ago, and we just didn't have the right weather. It was not snowing. I had to drive all over the place looking for icy roads. So this is the ideal day. Now, I've run a lot of different tires on this truck. When I first got the truck, I had hand-cooked eye pikes for winter, and they were spectacular. They weren't studded, but they were the best winter tire I had ever experienced. And then I ran mud and snow tires throughout the winters and, you know, experienced that. I can't remember the offshore tires I ran, but I did end up sticking with Dick's CPEC Extreme Countries for a while, and I would run them all year round. But now I'm getting older, and I just want a dedicated winter tire so I do not have to stress. I ran a set of General Grabber studded tires a few years ago, and I hated them. I couldn't even tell that they were studded. So this year, in the summertime, I needed a set of tires for my Dodge before winter hit, and I did not want to put winter tires on. I didn't want to run all seasons this winter, so I actually ended up getting Nitto Dura Grapplers for the summer. And I've never been a Nitto fan, just because I've never experienced them, never bought a set. So, we installed and balanced the Nittos. I got a smoking deal on them. They were really reasonable. And of course, yeah, I have to buy 6 because it's a dually. And they were so easy to balance. They were so quiet and so smooth. I could not believe it. I like how my wipers stop halfway. That's my aftermarket wiper motor. But I was just blown away by how good the Nittos were. So I called my rep up from one of my suppliers and said, what do you got for winter tires? Well, they don't carry winter tires, but they carry Nittos. And they recommended the Extreme Grappler Mud and Snow, and it was studdable. And so I read a whole bunch of reviews on them, and they were really good reviews for winter use. 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5. And so I got a set of Nitto Exo Grapplers, and I called around. Everybody in town wanted $60 a tire to balance them. And finally, Trail Tire said, you know what, we'll do them for 20 bucks each, just because I do a lot of business with them. So altogether, I was $2,300, taxes in, with studding, for these tires. I installed them before I went up north, and because I knew I was going to be up there for 2 months, and I figured for sure I'm coming home in the snow. Sure enough, it was dry when I came home. So I have 3,000 kilometers on these tires and no snow yet. So today's our day. I'll go find a better road. It's got a little more snow for us. The reason I used to run Dick CPEC Extreme Countries is because I was always doing vehicle rescues, pulling cars out of the bush, up in the mountains, rescued a bunch of vehicles when we got floods, that kind of stuff. So they were a really fun tire for that. They worked awesome. But now my truck mainly just drives highways up north, going to the pipeline and hauling trailers. So I just wanted a tire that was good on ice. And the other day we got a little 24-hour snowstorm. Roads are really icy. And you know when you're sitting at the traffic light and you're waiting to turn left and there's a vehicle coming and you're not sure if you can make it because you might spin? Well, these didn't do that. And I wasn't in four-wheel drive. No spin at all. And I try to run two-wheel drive as much as I can until it's actually needed. Simply because in my one of my Chevys, I had a 6.5 diesel. I blew the transfer case out of it on the highway, and I had no service when I was headed up north to the pipeline, and I was stranded. It was a horrific ordeal trying to fix that thing on the side of the road. And then another time I was having fun in my Dodge. I came drifting into a parking lot in the snow. I was in four-wheel drive and I was having fun hopping the throttle because it's a lot of weight. So I was hopping the throttle a little bit, trying to get the back end to slide out. And there was one dry patch in the middle of the parking lot, right where the drain is. And my front driver's side tire caught that dry patch. And all of a sudden, my axle joint was knocking, so I had to do an axle joint. So I actually try and save wear and tear on my truck as much as possible on my transfer case and axles and everything, because I'm still running factory U-joints in this truck. 420,000, and I still have the original U-joints. So when I called my rep up and asked about these tires, I got the same story that all the reps give you. I have 3 different suppliers, and they all give me the same story every time I call them every year about winter tires. Oh, these are the tires we have in stock, and we have, they'll always say that they themselves have 100,000 or 80,000 kilometers on these tires driving up north in northern BC. Well, I've been dealing with these guys for over 10 years, and I can call the warehouse any time of year and they always answer the phone. They're always there in Vancouver. So how do they put 100,000 kilometers driving around up north when they're always in Vancouver, where you don't really put that many miles on, you don't get that much snow? So I do not trust my sales reps at all when it comes to buying tires. They just want to sell you what's in stock. So I really had to read a lot of reviews on these tires before I made the decision. And so far, I'm really happy I did. I've been trying to find a tire as good as the hand-cooked I-Pikes since I had those around 2014. And I have not found one single tire that's that good. But so far, I really like these. I have one corner by my house that's always, it's like a 90-degree turn, and it's surrounded by concrete barricades. And every day that's like this, a car either hits the wall or goes in the ditch, because it's just a sheet of ice. And when I went through it with my Dodge the other day when we had our snowstorm, I felt, and I was in two-wheel drive, I felt a tiny bit of slip on the back end, and then they grabbed traction right away, and it's never done that in that corner. So far, it's really good. So I decided to take a detour. I was headed to the shop. I'm supposed to be working on stuff today. But we're going up to Ski Hill. You guys deserve a proper tire review. So we are headed up to Silver Star Ski Hill, Vernon, BC, Canada. And the roads are nice and plowed. They're not sanded. They're all icy underneath. I am in four-wheel drive now, because why take the chance? There's a lot of skiers coming down the hill, so why put anybody at risk just messing around? in two-wheel drive. I have had zero slip at all. I can actually get into the boost, get into the throttle, and I haven't had any tire spin. And that is my goal. I want to be able to drive through winter and not have raging amounts of cortisol, you know, the stress chemical, screaming through my body because I don't know where the traction limits are of the tires I'm running. I want a really good tire that helps me relax while I'm driving in this kind of stuff. So yeah, this is normal winter conditions for Canada. When I'm driving up north, it's going to be, most likely the highways will be plowed unless you're driving at night and get caught in a winter storm or something, but this is pretty much what I'm going to be dealing with all winter long. Wow, it doesn't even drift. Like nothing. Those hand cooks might be not the superior tire anymore. And when I talk to guys in the oil field, they just rave about Nittos. So I never actually spent the money on them. It seems prices on Nittos have gotten really reasonable. My summer tires were $1,600 all in, $1,628 taxes in with shipping for 6 tires. That's why I bought them. I was like, wow. Now we're talking. We're actually getting a bit of a snowbank from the plow truck. We haven't had the winter that we were expecting. They're calling for a pretty decent winter, warmer than usual around our area. But that doesn't mean we might not get a surprise. And I want to be prepared. Especially when I have a trailer on. Hauling somebody's vehicle from the paint booth to the shop when it's icy. I really don't want to be drifting into any intersections with a brand new paint job, because paint supplies are just horribly expensive now. More expensive than the tires I bought. I believe the ski hill is open now. So one thing I've already encountered a couple times on this road is people are still looking at their cell phones while they're driving in these conditions. So how well can you stomp on the brakes? Like, we didn't slide sideways at all. We got a tiny bit of slide, but they grab. Because I've had 2 vehicles come into my lane because they're looking at their cell phones. So the brake test is definitely a big thumbs up. My truck didn't go left or right, it just stayed straight. The anti-lock brakes did their job. That's a huge plus. And we are here, Silver Star Mountain Resort. This was rated one of the top ski hills in the world. Funny thing is, one magazine rated this the #1 ski, or one of the top ski hills in the world, and the price of houses went up by 100,000 overnight. All because of one magazine. Wow. People are actually skiing. I haven't seen this for years because I have not taken time to enjoy myself doing fun things like that, but there you go. I'm going to give these tires a spectacular review. Definitely a thumbs up. I would recommend them to anyone. So that's all you get on those tires. I just wanted to give you guys a little rundown on the tires I bought and what I think of them. Look at that. Chairlift is even running. All right. I gotta head to work. I'm late now. It's all your guys' fault.